Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Nidus Anarchy series. I'm your host, Adam, CIO and co-founder at Nidus, and today we are going to get our hands a little dirty. I was talking with some people a week ago, and I kind of had a cool idea. I was just riffing about what autonomous AI agents could do in a real-world example, and one of the ideas that I had was, I was like, hey, imagine how cool it would be is if you had like your access management server, and instead of having to check, hey, is there a new update that's come out, and then testing it all and finding out, this doesn't work, you have to upgrade Java or some other weird libraries, and are there any vulnerabilities that pass it? Does it break everything? I mean, like, that's something that we do in the identity management space on a day-to-day basis, and it's one of our most time-consuming things because it takes hours and sometimes days to go through all this stuff, especially through regression testing and HA environments, worldwide deployments and all that kind of fun stuff, right? So I was like, well, hey, what if you had an AI agent that would automatically find out, hey, is there a new version of the software available? Download it, spin up a clone of your instance, apply the patch or the update, then go through a full regression test to make sure everything still works and everything still passes all your tests, and then deliver you a report. So basically, you roll into work at 9 a.m. and so you get an email, bing, hey, guess what? Your new environment, your access management system has a new version that's come out. I've already tested it out. The upgrade completed successfully. Here's some issues that I found. Here's how I solved those problems. And by the way, it's all up and running. Here's the login information for you to go and check it out. I've also created a complete end-to-end deployment script so you can put this into your CI/CD pipeline and push this up to QA whenever you're ready. Let me know. I'll handle this for you. Click here. Like, how awesome would that be? Well, when I was talking about it, I was like, this is actually 100% possible. We could do this very easily. So that's what I want to show you. I'm going to show you right now how you can build an autonomous agent that sits on one of your servers in your development environment, polls for updates, downloads it, patches it, sends you a full post-mortem report after doing a full regression test to make sure everything's working, and then you didn't even have to lift a finger. That is awesome, right? So that's what I want to show you. And the one key thing that I really want you to understand here is that this system, I know I'm throwing it in there when I say autonomous AI agents, but it's autonomous. It's not running in my Claude code. It's not running in Cursor. It's running on the box. It's a little server that's just getting kicked off from a cron job that's running, doing the work, and then kicking off the email back to me. So without further ado, I'm going to show you how to set up a fully autonomous AI agent to do just that. Let's go.
Okay, so we're initially just going to kick off a base installation to create a new EC2 server with Keycloak 26.5.0 running on the box. And I'm having Claude start by actually creating the instance, downloading Keycloak, and then installing Keycloak and getting it all up and running, and then shoot me back the login credentials so that I can log in and verify the test installation. As you can see, that happens pretty quickly here. So now we're done with that. Now it's giving me all the credentials, the URL, the admin password. Don't worry, these instances are already dead at this point, so don't even bother trying to connect to them. So I'm just going to go ahead and spin open the web browser and test out the credentials and make sure that Keycloak is in fact actually up and running. So while that's loading, I grab the password and HTTPS required. So let's try it. Nope, doesn't work. So that's our first error. So let's just go ahead and grab a screenshot, send it back to Claude, and tell it to fix it. It's the easiest way. I'm not going to try and troubleshoot anything. So there we go, pasted the image, and just let it know that HTTPS isn't working. So now it's going to run through the image and realize what's going on. Just going to fix it all. It's going to create the PEM files for creating SSH. And then spin it back up again, then let me know that it's all fixed. So it says it's done, but I tell it to test it instead of telling me it's done and not working. So now that it thinks it's done, let's refresh. And it's spinning and spinning. And now we can now sign in. So it looks like the HTTPS fix worked. So now we're going to log in with the username and password that it has given. There we go. Grab the password and paste. And now it's thinking and thinking again. It's running on a medium EC2 instance. That's what I remember seeing it spin up. So it's not the fastest, but this is just for demo purposes. But as you can see, Keycloak is running. It's up and running on a brand new EC2 instance that this thing spun up all on its own. Okay, now let's go ahead and just check out the server info to make sure that this is actually running the version that we told it to install. So yep, you can see 26.50. So Keycloak is installed, set up, and running the proper version that we told it to do. So our base is now ready to go. So now let's start the fun stuff. Before I do anything, I just want to check my context window to see how I am. I'm wide open, I've got plenty of space to work with. So now let's kick off our prompt. I want you to create an isolated agent using the Claude Code Agent SDK that will check the Keycloak website for any updates to the current version of Keycloak that is installed. If you see a newer version, I want you to download the next point release, not the latest version we have, and to take steps in upgrades. Once it's downloaded, I want you to... Oops, I've changed my mind. So I want you to research the next point release, not the latest version. We have to take steps in upgrades. Once you know that all the necessary upgrade steps are, I want you to clone the existing Keycloak server so that it's a one-on-one of the existing server. Then on the clone, download and install, upgrade, and patch whatever is needed to get Keycloak onto the next point release. Troubleshoot any issues that arise until you get Keycloak up and running and validated by you as well. Once it's up and running, create a full post-mortem of everything about the upgrade process, including all the steps taken, issues faced, and what was done to resolve those issues. Then email that post-mortem to adam@nidus.com using AWS SES. Include all the login info of the new server so that I can log in and verify your work. Design the agent to be triggered by a cron job that will fire off once a day to check for updates. And perform all of this if there's an update. If no update, it just logs that there was no update found. Do all the deep research you need before starting this task. And now it's running off doing all the research and figuring out what it needs to do. You can see it spun up a bunch of different little sub-agents there to do all the research. And in the meantime, I realized after I typed the prompt that I actually want it to do something more, which is also super important. So I prompted it with, I want you to add something else to this process. Before you make the agent, I want you to create an end-to-end use case regression test plan. Then execute that plan and make sure it's all working and log the expected results. When the agent is done installing, upgrading any patches, I want the agent to also run through the regression testing and fix any bugs that it encounters. So where do I want the cron to run? It's giving me a couple different options. Right now I'm having it just run on the EC2 instance, so therefore the agent's going to run on the box that's going to host it. And then I'm just letting it know that I already have SES set up, so it doesn't really need to do any config. The domain's already trusted, so I just give it the email address that it needs to send the email from. And the project directory where this thing's going to run, I want this thing to actually run on the EC2 instance, not locally. And we submit. Okay, now it's all done. I came up with a full plan on what to do. And it says, hey, I'm ready to go, which is great, but I escaped out of it and then submitted the prompt that I pre-wrote out ahead of time to add this to the plan before we actually execute on it. So now it's just adding in the whole part about how I want the regression testing to take place. So now it's done, I approved the plan, and now it kicks off into bypass permission mode, and now it's running. And from here, this is where all the magic is happening. So right now, it's spinning up a bunch of sub-agents in parallel to do all these tasks. My main model that I'm using here is Opus 4.6, which just came out just a little while ago. It's pretty good, not gonna lie. And this thing's actually really good with sub-agents and creating a swarm to do all the tasks. And I have some rules in place to kind of spawn off sub-agents and let me know what's going on as well, so I get a little bit more insight than kind of your vanilla Claude Code install. But this is kind of pretty standard what you see the way this thing is its phases approach and all things like autonomous. Kind of as you can see, I've really interacted with this thing very bare minimum. It's the only prompts that I've really given it where I want you to set up a new EC2 instance with Keycloak version 26 point whatever 5.0 on it, and then it didn't work with the SSL, so I told it to fix it. And then after that, I gave it the prompt to plan on how about creating the agent that's going to go and find all the updates and do the upgrades and do the post-mortem. And then I appended it with one more prompt telling it about how I also want it to do regression testing. Because in any system, right, just because it can do the upgrade, that's great, but did it break anything? Now, obviously, I didn't review the plans. I didn't really do much to them. This is kind of a proof of concept just to show you what's possible and how easy it is. But in a real production system or in a real live environment, not necessarily production, you would want to really hone this in a little more, right? You'd want to make your prompt actually cater more to the specific system that it's using and give it actual use cases and give it actual templates to follow and things like that. But for all intents and purposes of what we're doing here, this is perfect. Okay, so it is done, and it has done full end-to-end validation. It went through and did all the different checks. It all passed. Found a couple issues, and it self-healed all of them, which is perfect. And now this is the new instance, so we're going to go ahead and check it out. And it already had the SSL fix in place, which is great. Loading up the admin console, we're going to grab the admin username and password, which you can see it actually kept the same credentials, which is good, right? In case there's anything hard coding there, which it shouldn't, but you never know. So we log in as the admin, and then we're going to check the version number. So we should be at 26.5.1, and there it is. So it did the upgrade, and now it shot me an email with the full postmortem. So we can see it did a 26.50 to 26.51 upgrade. It was successful. The upgrade was executed successfully on the clone of the production instance. All 28 regression tests passed without issues. And then it shows the clone instance details, the SSH access and how to connect into it, the login credentials. Now, obviously, I didn't give it any template for this email. Obviously, you would not want to have it put a password in clear text in an email and have it sent to you. It just chose to do this on its own. And this is where, like I was saying, a template would come in handy, where you would say, this is the email template of the postmortem to do, and then put some rules in there about what it should and shouldn't do. But like I said, this is just pure proof of concept, just to show you the power of autonomous agents that can run in your environment and what they can do. So this is the new server that it spun up, and as you can see, it's running 26.51, so that worked fine. These are all the regression tests that it went through. So HTTP accessibility, HTTPS accessibility, OIDC discovery, creating realms, getting realms, creating users, creating groups, refresh tokens, logging out users, deleting groups, health checks, deleting realms, version checks, all this stuff. It even shows the timings on them as well, so in case you can see it hanging, it's pretty cool. Total performance metric, the whole thing end to end, about 11 minutes to do the upgrade. Provided a full rollback plan, which is great, and even some recommendations. So it says that the upgrade to Keycloak 26.51 is approved for production deployment based on all 28 tests passing, no breaking changes, startup time and performance are acceptable, database migrations successfully. It's estimated downtime for a production run, clone instance disposition. So it's just saying, hey, what do you want to do with this thing when you're done? Terminate it when it's done, keep it for 7 days in a staging environment, and then terminate it, or convert it to a permanent staging testing environment. So create a whole new environment from this thing. And then it even shows the cost. So running this T3 medium instance is occurring an ongoing cost of about $30 a month. In conclusion, recommendation, proceed with production upgrade during the next maintenance window. That's awesome. So go back to Claude Code and let it know that everything's working. And now I want it to set up and fire off the cron job that should kick off this autonomous agent. Because while it all worked out great, I really want to make sure that this thing works from the cron job. So therefore, every day when it runs, it's going to go find the latest version, do the full upgrade end to end, and shoot out the email. And that's kind of what I'm doing here. So even though it's already done and it already worked, I really want to validate it. So now that it's done, you can see it fired it off. It ran the whole test, and now it shot me back the second email here. Now you can see the email is different. That's because I didn't provide it a template, and that's what I was talking about before. Very similar results, but this one's actually not as good as the first one, ironically. But this is where you'd want to use some form of a markdown template for the emailing of what goes in and what doesn't go in, all the tests, all that kind of fun stuff, right? But as you can see, it still has the basics of all the information that we just kind of went through for this new test. And the full postmortem. Now it links here to the full postmortem doc. So actually I'm going to open this up and read the actual markdown file of the full logs so we can really see what it was doing. So I'm just going to go back into Claude Code and tell it to download the file and then open it. There we go. SCP'd it, opened it up into Notepad, and there we go. So here's the full logs of everything that it did with all the credentials, all the steps that it completed, the timings on everything, all the regression tests that took place, issues that it found and how it resolved them, the configuration details that it set up for everything, the service accounts that it created, all the database migration steps that took place, the rollback plan, all the recommendations. I mean, this is crazy. When you saw the prompt, I didn't even tell it to do all this stuff. Opus 2.6 is amazing. But here's the big thing. Autonomous AI agents are the way of the future for all IT tasks. And this is what I really wanted to show off. So if you want to have tasks like this, where you can just have a swarm of AI agents running in all of your development servers that are just constantly keeping track of updates, looking for recent critical vulnerabilities, finding holes, constantly pen testing your system, checking for updates, patching them, spinning up side-by-side green, blue-green environments that do full end-to-end regression testings. I mean, this is only one server. I could easily have this running on multiple servers, full HA, multiple environments, multiple systems. So this is just one piece that I wanted to show you from an idea that I had, and I think it worked out pretty successful. So if you're interested in getting some AI agents set up in your environment, or you want to know more about how this works and what the kind of security risks are and really dive into how to make these things production ready, hit us up, because that's what we're here for. We're going to show you how to completely automate end-to-end your entire company ecosystem. Thanks. Bye.